Hi, everybody. Today, the question that caregivers are asking is, how do we deal with different beliefs in relationships? How do we manage through that? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Stay with me for the caregiving chat of the day. In this video post, there is a link to my radio show that airs every Wednesday night where we answer many of these questions like, how do we deal with different beliefs? One of the ways that we can do this is to simply agree to disagree and to be respectful and to communicate the importance of the relationship. How many issues come up that really are that important? Seriously, toilet seat up, toilet seat down, putting dishes in the sink instead of putting them in the dishwasher. Are these really little differences that we want to allow to destroy our relationships? I think not. But in some situations, when health changes and caregiving is involved, for example, you are a caregiver for a spouse or you're a caregiver for elderly parents, and all of a sudden you are more involved in the day to day, where before this person was fairly independent. They could do a lot of things for themselves, and today that has changed and it has affected your life significantly. How do you deal with those relationship beliefs and differences? We can communicate, we can compromise, and again, we can express the commitment. I am so committed to help you. I want to help you, but this is what I'd like to see more of. I'd like to see more of you doing more for yourself in the way of taking a shower, taking your medications, exercising, eating better. These things would help me because I am so stressed about caring for you. The reality in life is that as life changes, as we change jobs, go to college, get a degree, our situation changes. And many times these are small changes in relationships that we don't really notice. Other changes are more significant. As part of that relationship, whether we're the caregiver or we are the person who needs care, we have to take responsibility for our behaviors and the things that are happening, and really to decide, is this something that I can manage through? Do I need to get help? Because many caregivers and people with health issues benefit from getting help and education and learning. That helps us manage through change. The other thing is, can we not take these differences personally? Can we not feel like it's affecting us? Let's say that your person you're caring for, they should eat better, but they're having a hard time doing that. And you're taking it personally, thinking, wow, they're not eating better, and it's going to be more work for me, and it's very hard, and all of this. While the other person is thinking, man, this is really hard to change my habits, to change my eating habits. I really want that piece of cake and I know I should have a salad instead. So it's difficult for both of you, but neither of you are talking about, hey, I realize this is not ideal. This is hard for you and it's hard for me. How do we work through this together? How do we educate ourselves? How do we work on ourselves? Because in relationships, there are two sides. Sometimes we only focus on our side and we feel like people are doing things to us, and they're not intentionally doing things to us. They may just be struggling. We have to own our behaviors, whether they are productive or unproductive, positive or negative, and it's important to talk about these. In some situations, though, it may become very difficult. If you are in an abusive situation, that is a totally different story. If you have a loved one who has memory loss, you have to accommodate for that because they're not purposely doing things to drive you crazy or to harm their relationship. Because of their brain impairment, they can't function the way that they used to. Other situations would be people who have personality disorders, who are narcissistic or borderline personality. Those, again, are situations that are going to be more difficult to work out. In those situations, maybe a counselor would be beneficial to help you work through these relationship differences. When you have conversations, you also want to remember to use the word I. I feel this way. This is really what would help me, rather than saying things like, well, you're a bad person. Everything that you do irritates me. I can't stand what you do anymore. That is not going to help the relationship differences. We want to focus on what we want to see happen versus what we don't want to see happen. So don't nag your elderly parents. Don't nag your spouse. That doesn't go anywhere. Instead, say, how can I help you do this? This would help me help you. How do we work through this together? And in life, there are always some things that we are always going to disagree about. It could be religion, it could be politics. If you know those are subjects that are going to cause problems, don't talk about them. Keep your beliefs to yourself and don't let your partner or your spouse pressure you into their beliefs. You're entitled to have your own beliefs. You're entitled to have your own habits, your own behaviors. You don't have to always think exactly the same way on everything. That means you have a healthy relationship. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. On my website, lots of helpful information for caregivers and aging adults, my weekly radio show, The Caring Generation, my caregiving library, online courses for caregivers that are available through corporations and groups. Check those out. And my library, if I didn't mention that, it's free. Lots of articles, podcasts, videos, everything there, helpful information. Please share this information with people you know. You can also join my group on Facebook. It is called The Caregiving Trap. Have a fabulous day today, and I'll see you again soon in another video.